frog here. Jim Henson captured the imagination and the hearts of adults and children everywhere. He was the creator of the Muppets and much more. Well, he even created me, Kermit. This video is about the genius, Jim Henson, and the art, the magic, the imagination of a great man. Now, Ralph Sonic reporter, will you take it over, please? Here is the early years of Jim Henson. Jim Henson was born in Leland, Missouri on September 24th, 1936. Jim's real name was James Murray Henson, but they called him Jim or Jimmy. When Jim was in 5th grade, his father got a brand new job. The family said goodbye to Deer Creek and moved to Hudsonville, Maryland. Here are some of Jim's baby pictures. Doesn't he look cute? It was a big change for Jim moving. Hyattsville was twice the size of Leland, but it was still a comfortable, quiet place to live. One of the best things was that Jim's grandparents lived in the town. A few years later, something better happened. TV was invented. Jim's parents didn't want him to have one, so when he was 13 or 14, he got one. Jim once said, "I thought it was incredible." On TV, there were several shows with puppets. One show he liked was Kugla, Fran, and Ollie. Kugla a clown and Ollie a dragon were hand puppets. Fran was a real woman who sat next to the puppet stage and spoke with the puppets. Jim wanted to work at a television station when he was older. When Jim was 7...
Hi, Robert. I'm Gonzo, the great big blue weirdo. I'm gonna shoot from out from a cannon. What?
Woo! Yes! Now, Jim Henson is when nobody interrupts us. Here, okay. When Jim was 17, he got his first break. Jim heard the local TV station was looking for a puppeteer. He auditioned and landed his first job in TV as a puppeteer for a children's show called The Junior Good Morning Show. On the show, there was a French rat named Pierre and some cowboys named Longhorn and Shorthorn. Jim did a great job, but it was canceled after only 3 weeks. Jim didn't get upset. Soon he found another job helping with a cartoon show on the local NBC station WRC-TV. Jim started college where he studied acting, stagecraft, and design. Even though Jim was still in college, he still worked at WRC-TV. In 1955, WRC-TV offered Jim his own show. It would be after the evening news every night. Jim called the show Sam and Friends. Jim had a lot of other funny characters on the show. Some of the puppets looked like some of the characters that would be later on Jim's other shows. Now for your entertainment, please watch a short clip from
Sam and Friends. Brought to you for the update. The platter they're playing on this TV show seems to have gotten stuck.
Muppets report.
Hello, this is reporter Ralph Sonic reporting on Kermit, and he's sitting right next to me for this report. One of Jim Henson's puppets was a creature named Kermit. Kermit would one day become a very famous frog. The first Kermit was made from Jim's mother's old clothes for the body. The eyes were cut in half with ping pong ball. What? A ping pong ball? The first Kermit didn't look like a frog. He was more like a lizard-type creature. Kermit started looking more like a frog. Good grief, you thought I might be turned into a chicken or something. Look at my pictures. While trying to think of a name for this creature, Jim remembered a friend from his childhood and got the name. I took the original Kermit at the Betty Beard Museum last summer. Jim made a new kind of TV. On his shows, his puppets are viewed up close for the very first time. He made his puppets from soft, flexible materials. He changed the way a puppet's face looked. He had his puppets on rods so that you could not see the performer during the performance. Last summer, I went to the Betty Brady Museum and actually worked one of these puppets in action. Here is a picture of Jim Henson working. Jim named his new creature Muppet. Jim saw the word Muppet with a combination of marionette and puppet because Muppets are worked by hand like puppets as well as with wires and strings to move arms and legs like marionettes. The explanation made sense, but many years later, Jim admitted that he made up the Muppets because he liked the sound of it. Miss Piggy, please take it over. Jim Henson married Jane Nibbles. They made a wonderful team. Jane and Jim were invited to perform the Muppets act on The Tonight Show with Steve Allen. The show was broadcasted all over the country. In 1959, Simon Prince won an Emmy Award for the Best Local Entertainment Program. In 1960, Jim and Jane had their first child, a girl named Lisa. Isn't that just the prettiest name? I wonder where they found it. Jane still spent time performing, and she remained Jim's business partner. In 1961, a brother and daughter came along. Cheryl, it's all right, was born. At the Henson home, the family continued to grow. Brian was born in 1963, and John was born in 1965. The Muppet family was growing too. In 1961, Jim met two people who would be very important to the Muppets. They were Jerry Jewell and Frank Oz. They would be part of Jim's family of performers. John Phelan joined the team as the Muppets' top Muppet design and builder. One of the first Muppets John Phelan built was a floppy-eared piano-playing dog named Ralph. From 1963 to 1966, Ralph was appeared on the Jimmy Dean Show, a variety series with lots of different sketches. Each week, Jimmy would sing a song with Ralph as his piano player. Jimmy treated him just like a real person. The Muppet performances have developed a lot of Muppet characters. Jim was Kermit, Ralph, Ernie, Swedish Chef, Dr. Teeth, and Waldorf. Frank Oz was Rover, Cookie Monster, the lovable Fuzzy Bear, Waka Waka, Miss Piggy, and the Mother, Woman, and Sam the Eagle. Pebble Spinelli was Big Bird, Oscar Grouch, Dave Glowley, Gonzo, Dr. Boomer, Honeydew, and Zoo. Richard Hunt was Janice, Sweetum, Beaker, and Stetler. Muppets were beginning to be well known by a large audience. Now the puppeteers and writers and puppet builders worked so well together, the Muppets needed someplace new to show off their work. Jim had been trying to sell ideas to different television networks and production companies. Around this time, Jim met a man named Joan Stone, a writer and producer for children's television. Jim also met a talented musical director and composer named Joe Resposo. The first project they worked on was Hey Cinderella Tale. They also made their own vision of the Frog Prince and the Birmingham Musicians. Next, Joan stopped called on Jim to help create. The show is called Sesame Street. Joan Gons Clooney, the person in charge of creating Sesame Street for the Children's Television Workshop, wanted to create a television show that would teach the alphabet and how to count. The show was an effort to give poor children whose parents couldn't afford nursery school the chance to learn basic skills. On November 11, 1969, the show hit air for the first time and became a sensation. They wanted to have a character who the kids could relate to. Big Bird was one of Jim's more creative puppets. The 8-foot-tall inch bird was worked by Carl Binney. Inside that was the Muppet Show. The basic idea was to have Kermit, Miss Piggy, Gonzo, and a bunch of other zany Muppets trying to put on a show in a small theater with a new guest star each week. Jim didn't plan Kermit to become a star, but he just fit in perfect. The Muppet Show aired on for the first time in the world in 1976. From 1976 to 1980, when the Muppets won over a dozen different awards, including an Emmy Award. Sadly, the Muppet Show was canceled in 1980. During the Muppet Show's success, Jim's performing family started making movies, such as The Muppet Movie, The Muppet Caper, and The Muppet Takes Manhattan. Here's a clip from them.
Somebody falling and someone needs it. Look what it's done so far. What's so amazing that these hearts are gazing, and what do we think we might see?
By the late 70s, the Muppets are everywhere. Look at all the magazine covers they were on. Isn't there very many of them? Then he made another children's show called Fraggle Rock in 1983. This show is about Fraggles who live under the ground. Jim loved this show because it taught lessons about love, peace, cooperation. Now here are the Fraggles. In 1984, Jim makes a show, Blessings in the Past, in the Muppet Babies, a cartoon format. You can actually watch this show today with the funny Muppet Babies. In 1987, Jim is in the Television Academy Hall of Fame. In 1990, Jim got sick. He had sickness called pneumonia and died on May 6, 1990. Jim's funeral was in New York at St. John the Divine. About over 5,000 people were there for the sad moment, holding on to their Muppet dolls. All the Muppets were there but Kermit, Jim's most popular Muppet. Jim's son, Brian Henson, is CEO of Jim Henson Productions. In his father's place, Brian directs 2 movies to make his father proud. He made The Muppet Christmas Carol in 1992 and Muppet Treasure Island in 1996. The Muppets still go on forever through the creativity of the family and Jim Henson Productions. His vision continues. Any questions?